What is something that most people aren't afraid of that really is dangerous? Wires. Don't touch the power wires outside. Immediately call up 911 and tell them there is a power line down. Don't go near IT, don't touch IT. The sheer number of reports I had to go through that included someone dying from touching the wires, or worse, having their face melted off from the wires, haunts me to this day. Even the thought of ever having to sort through those reports again turns my stomach between the details and the photos. Doctors who prescribe antibiotics like candy aren't doing anyone a favor. Especially fluoroquinolones, Cipro, Levaquin, levofloxacin, etc. They're not supposed to be first-line treatments for anything. These are drugs of last resort which should only be used when anything else has failed, and on top of all that they've also been shown to give some people, yay me I guess, a few rather heavy side effects. Don't get me wrong, I am not saying people shouldn't be using them, but caution is definitely advised. Depending on the case, your sinusitis, bacterial prostatitis, UTIs, and the like can all be treated with far milder antibiotics.
Hey guys, much like you, I love reading people's stories on Ask Reddit. Unfortunately, there's a lot of weird middle school level, just thought experiment type hypotheticals like nice try Baskin Robbins. I don't find this compelling, so that's why I've made it my mission to trawl and crawl through Ask Reddit and find the very best content and put it in your ears. That's why I'm begging you, like and subscribe. If there's anything I can do to help you out, give you the kind of content that you crave to help you get through your workday, let me know in a comment. But please, like and subscribe.
When I was a kid, we saw a parent trying to put their toddler on the back of a giant bison by the road, for a photo. The poor little kid was screaming and crying, but the parents were just laughing and telling it to smile. Some people shouldn't procreate. I have a healthy respect for water for a few reasons. 1. It can be deep, fast, strong, or any combination of those three. Any one of those can be fatal. I almost drowned at water 3 deep because of the current. 2. You can't always tell if it's deep, fast, or strong, let alone what's in it, or if it's about to drastically change. 3. It's not alive. It's not going to change its mind about dragging you somewhere. You're just fucked. 4. Strong and experienced swimmers drown too. Others in this thread have also mentioned temperature. It is very possible to get hypothermia in water that is 75 and 80 F, 24 and 27 degrees Celsius. It'll take longer than colder water, which BTW can incapacitate you in a matter of minutes, but it's still lowering your body temperature. If you feel cold swimming, get out, warm up, and take a break. The last thing you need is to be dazed and sluggish in potentially dangerous water. As a teenager, my family spent the summer in a cabin on the Big Thompson. While wading across the river, which was about waist-high water, I got to a point where I had to jump from one large rock to another. I slipped and landed between them. There was a natural funnel between the two where an already strong current was even faster. My legs got pulled out from under me and I ended up hanging onto the second rock with my head under the water trying to pull myself up. I had a moment of fear-induced strength and managed to pull myself up. The river is full of rocks and logs, and if I'd slipped I would have been hurt very badly or drowned. I am a very strong swimmer, but swimming against a current trying to suck you out and under is damn near impossible. The only thing that saved me was getting a grip on the rock on my way down. Had an extra apostrophe that was bugging me. I had an issue with my garage door once and tried to fix it. I did not fix it. Had to call a repair dude. He scared the bejesus out of me because I almost killed myself with the spring. If I had loosened one more bolt I could have taken a compressed spring to the face. I had a friend working winter seasons in the Forest Service up in Wyoming. One winter while he was snowed into his cabin, he was stalked by a mountain lion. It would wait above the door for him to come out of the house or barn. He narrowly avoided becoming lunch one day because he broke up his routine and while coming around the backside of the cabin found tracks that lead to the front. The lion was waiting in the shrubs out front for him to get to the door. Such a huge majority of the population doesn't have to live in fear of being low on the food chain. I think we forget how smart predators are, seriously. Do not mess with Tylenol. That shit will mess you up if you take too much. It literally shuts down your livers, and you will wither in pain for up to 2 days, turning around in agony and screaming from the pain, until you survive it, rarely, get a transplant, or just succumb to it. Source, tried to odd on it once with a whole bottle. Shit's scary. Yes, I'm okay now. Actually, in a couple of days it will have been 2 years since I attempted. Starting going to a psychiatrist, stopped for a bit, made some pit stops here and there in life, but now I've been on antidepressants for like a month, with a pretty noticeable change in my attitude, still not totally out of it though, going into a field I love. Just wanted to say, thanks for all the kind words you guys are giving me in the comments. Edit whatever, okay Jesus, it's one liver. I'm a dumb person lol. I'll keep the mistake though in my thing. Gotta own it. My smoke detector started beeping loud AF at 7:30 a.m. on a Saturday a few weeks ago, and there was not even a slight smoky odor. That made me very worried about CO next. At that early on my day off, I at least aired out the apartment for a bit before closing the windows and going back to sleep, and deal with it later. Turns out it also detects natural gas, less reliably, and was just picking up some smell from my trash, confirmed by the beeping pattern it used. All of this just confirms your point though. I was too sleepy to care about colorless, odorless, lethal gas, and even with warning could have screwed myself pretty badly that morning by taking the batteries out, if it was actually CO. I would have died peacefully at least. Type 2 diabetes. A lot of people get a diabetes diagnosis and figure they won't be able to eat as much sugar, go easy on the frosting, I'm diabetic haha, and might have to inject insulin, oh no. Nope. A T2 diabetes diagnostic means your body has run out of options after years of abuse. You are now part of a group that has the highest risk of heart attacks, going blind, kidney failure, amputations and other nasty stuff. A ton more people should be freaking the fuck out because of the rising rates of diabetes, on top of their own condition. One of the girls at my daughter's skate club was going to Africa to visit family, I forget which country, and in a joking way I told her to watch out for the hippos as I had watched a mini doc recently about the dangers. We all laughed. After she got back she told us a horrifying experience her family had when a hippo charged into their camp and started tearing it up. They were running for their lives.
This year, like I said, I'm having a midlife crisis. I've started a YouTube channel and I'm on a big health kick. One thing that I found is very easy to eat, very easy to prepare, is I heat up chickpeas with chicken broth and tikka masala. And there are two schools of thought about how you should eat beans. Some people believe you should buy the dry beans and soak them, but I tried that and it was a disaster. So I buy canned beans every time. And if I'm opening like 2 cans a day to be on this diet, it is a massive pain in the ass if the can has this jagged metal edge. You know, I'm worried if like little bits of metal are getting into my food and going to slice up my intestines. So I found this special can opener that actually opens the can in a way that is completely safe, no metal's getting in your food, and is 1,000 times better than any other can opener I've ever used. So if you wind up, opening a lot of cans for whatever reason, maybe you've got a cat or something, you must buy this can opener from my affiliate link.
This is actually what happened to me. I have pics if anyone is interested. Scarface. Before they glued it shut. Head scar garage door. Backstory. My brother ran a motorcycle into the garage door and it tweaked the wheel inside of the track on the side of the door when it's closed. When we tried to open the door it was jammed right there where the wheel was. We unbolted the bracket holding onto the wheel to loosen it and remove it. My dumbass didn't realize it was connected to the cable attached to the fully loaded spring above. So what did I do? I took a hammer to it until it was free. The bracket came loose and smacked me right in the forehead. If it was an inch lower it would have taken out my eye. The last thing I remember was black. Then I'm fine. It dazed me for about 5 seconds. Then my brother had this blank look on his face, and I said, "Is my shit fucked up?" He said yes, and then I could feel the warm blood running down my face. We went to the because I didn't know if I needed sticks or not. She glued it up and luckily my insurance covered most of it. I just had a $100 copay. Seriously, don't fuck with garage doors, people. A word, I was a teen during the early AIDS epidemic. Safe sex is something that was pounded into us from the outset. I mean, once we as a nation figured out how HIV was transmitted. I find it funny that HIV no longer being a death sentence has made people much more lax about safe sex, walking anywhere near a moving vehicle. Just today I was going in reverse into a parking lot lane, and 2 people came out from the car aisles and walked right behind me as I was backing up. And they acted like it was no big deal. People need to realize there is no bubble of protection around them. They can die so many ways at any moment, GT, and if you don't, you're dead before you even realize you got hit. Not quite. Plenty of people die while on the way to the hospital or even a few days later after a car accident from injuries. While that's true in that instance of a plane crash, that's an incredibly rare event that I'm not sure has happened in recent years. You're actually very likely to survive a plane crash since pilots won't allow a plane to get into a situation where it could break apart at 30 km/h and plummet to the ground. A friend of mine went on a trip to Africa a while ago. She was in a group doing a hike trek and they came across a river that would have taken too long to go around, so they had to row across it. The guide was warning them about the hippos. My friend asked what they were supposed to do if the boat tipped. The guide told them to drown quietly. I've finally recovered from my horrendous high school sleeping habits of literally staying up until the sun rises, on social media and flunking classes, and now I wake up at 8:30 a.m. every day no matter what. I set an alarm out of anxiety, but 90 of the time will beat my alarm. If I start to feel my mood shifting, it can almost always be attributed to a change in my sleep schedule. GT, they think it's possible to avoid car accidents, but plane crashes are out of their control entirely. I can chime in here since I'll drive all day, but you won't catch me on a plane. Ever. You can survive a car crash. And if you don't, you're dead before you even realize you got hit. If a plane starts dropping from thousands of feet in the air, not only are you most likely dead on impact, you'll know the whole way down that you're about to die, and you're on a plane with hundreds of other people that realize the same thing. That's why we don't fear a car as much. Fun fact, brown bears, grizzlies, for one, will often open huge gashes in prostrate prey, then push dirt into the gashes, because they enjoy the taste of slightly rotted meat. That is, if they aren't hungry. If they are hungry, they'll eat your tasty bits, skin, fat, and some organs, while you're still living. My dad used to tell me that if a hungry grizzly came after me, the plan was for him to have another son. I have a severely weakened immune system from chemotherapy. I was basically forced to take disability leave program because a few people in my office refuses to vaccinate themselves when I sent an email out asking if possible to get the flu shot this year to minimize the chance of me dying accidentally by catching a random bug off of someone. Or to give me a heads up if you're sick before coming to work, and I will gladly stay home without pay to ensure I can't get anything. HR said they couldn't do anything legally due to it not being enforceable for mandatory vaccination since it's office work, not medical related. But they were very helpful and gave me unlimited sick days for the time going through chemo to compensate for these idiots. Vaccinations do more than help yourself, they help people like me who can't defend for themselves due to illnesses and diseases. Don't be a selfish prick and vaccinate yourself, people, please. Anecdotally, I've heard of a case where someone tried to odd on acetaminophen, went to bed, then woke up anyway the next day, surprised to still be alive, and thought I guess they were expired or something. I wasn't meant to die. With a new lease on life, she went about her business for a couple days, started feeling terrible and turned yellow, then went to the emergency room. When she told them what she'd done, they said, if you'd come in soon after the odd, we could have helped you, but it's too late now and you're in for a slow, horrible death.
Did you know that when you drink tea from a tea bag, especially a cheap tea bag, you are exposing yourself to microplastics greater in quantity than from any other source? Microplastics are the number one health risk of our generation, and they will have unknown consequences on future generations. So, if you value your health, destroy your tea bags. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy great tea. I'm going to post affiliate links for my own homebrew loose leaf tea concoction that I drink every single day. It has no microplastics, and it honestly tastes better than tea from a tea bag ever did. So be sure to click the links below and get on the loose leaf tea train to avoid poisoning yourself and your children.
Or tired? Think you're just going to push through? Pull an all-nighter on that long drive? You're probably driving as impaired as a very drunk person when you're that tired. I'm guilty of doing this several times. People don't take it seriously enough, but it's so bad. When I went to Thailand, I was on a train with a German girl who was vacationing before returning home. A few days went by and I heard from her that she had went cliff jumping in a pretty routine area but had landed wrong and broke her back. Didn't even hit rocks or anything, just landed wrong. Here's a fun fact about hippos I like to share. They can't swim. Well, how do they move through water if they can't swim? You may ask. They lunge across the bottom of the river. Which means that if you piss a hippo off while in a boat, you have the brief opportunity to see it before it disappears under the water and proceeds to torpedo into you. When my husband was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and alarmingly high blood pressure, we went into war mode. He's 45 and I don't want to lose him anytime soon. He's lost 100 pounds, I've lost 70 pounds, and we support each other eating healthier and making better choices. We even work out regularly, him 3 days a week, me 5. His last 2 doctor's appointments were great. Normal A1C and normal blood pressure. They're actually in the process of stepping him down off his medications. I know we can't erase 45 years of being morbidly obese, he was a fat kid, but hopefully we can extend his healthy years as much as possible.
Do you have any idea how convenient it is to use a Keurig machine for brewing coffee or tea. Personally, I gave up coffee a long time ago, but I was able to get a great, delicious cup of coffee in just seconds with no cleanup, no extra work, using a Keurig machine and a K-cup. And now I use my Keurig machine to brew tea, loose leaf tea, every day that I drink. And I also use it to make oatmeal and, anything else that you can put hot water into. So if you don't have a Keurig machine in your house, you're missing out. Try my affiliate link below in the description of the video, and you too can enjoy a great cup of coffee in seconds any time of day.